Hello, everyone. Welcome in today. We're going to go through our complete offseason here with the UMass Minutemen. Unfortunately, we didn't get the head coaching job. They passed us over to hire a defensive coach to take over. Apparently, they trust us on offense, but man, that's just disappointing. So let's go ahead and advance to the next week. The Oregon Ducks were your national championship winning team. They beat the Georgia Bulldogs. So let's see what we can do here with this team to maybe improve in season 2. Taking a look at players leaving, surprisingly, things don't look too good. We didn't get to persuade anybody that left. The guys I'm really disappointed about losing is probably Jalen John, but I'm going to try. Yeah, he isn't interested in coming back. There's like no chance any of these guys want to return to the team. But we didn't lose top corner Ortiz, which I thought he might transfer. So that's a win, I'll say. Unfortunately, yeah, we lost these guys. That's kind of disappointing here. But, we're going to jump into the portal. Tyson Pumachan's somebody that I really enjoyed playing with. We're going to look at some of these guys' stats real quick, I guess, before we move on. We don't need to rush it. Jalen John, I'll be really interested to see where he goes. Unfortunately, you can't look at their stats here. That's disappointing. So John's moving on. Atwood was our starting center last year. Ladson, we're really going to miss him. He was a good player for us. Hudson didn't really play much. He didn't play much. Lake Ellis was our top corner. He was a good player. Not really that important. He was good. I can never say his name. He made a ton of good plays out of Worcester, Mass. Jarrell Johnson was good. Sterling Galvin, we're going to miss him, man. His deep speed over the top was so important to this team. We don't have a punter on roster for next year, so we're definitely in trouble there as we lost CJ Coldig. I don't know how to say his name. Braden Rom played left tackle for us this year. He was a good player. We're definitely going to miss him. Mazzotti is somebody we're going to miss. He was always there when we needed him. We didn't rely on him enough, to be honest with you. Mottinger was actually our left tackle. Rom played right tackle. He was a good player, man. He was our best O-lineman, so losing him definitely sucks. Ednosa Rubin was a really good player for us. He made a ton of plays. Quarterback Tyson Pumachan is going to be missed, man. He made a ton of plays. He was really good. And unfortunately, I forgot to look at stats before I advanced, so we didn't get to look at his season stats overall. And I don't think I can do it now since I advanced, so that's just a rookie mistake. It won't happen again. We're going to make sure we show off all these guys' stats before we move on next time. On second thought, thankfully we can do it. Tyson Pumachan finished with 31 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Ahmad Haston struggled a lot when he was out there, and he's going to be our quarterback, so I'm a little concerned. On the ground, it was Paradis leading the way. Pumachan was good. We lost Jalen John. Honestly, I'm not that worried about it. He wasn't that good for us. We got Albrecht back, and I think he can make a big impact. Looking at our receiving, it was Keyshawn Brown leading us with 68 catches, 1,014 yards, and 9 scores. He was incredible. Ladson was pretty consistent. He had some big plays, 5 touchdowns. Sterling Galvin had 9 touchdowns, 41 catches, 551 yards. He was a big play threat when we needed him. He was good. Mazzotti was good. So was Simpson, man. He actually had some good plays. And, we're going to miss these guys as they move on. Defensively, leading the way was Jalen Stewart. Luckily, it looks like he'll be able to move on and maybe get into the NFL. I don't know. Jarrell Johnson was number 2, followed by Isaiah Rutherford. A lot of senior leadership here at the top. TFL-wise, it was Lois Julian, who looks to be back for the Minutemen next year. We also have Tyson Watson coming back, which is good for our pass rush because we lost some guys who really were impactful getting sacks, like Ednosa Rubin, and I still can't say his name. I don't want to mess it up again. We didn't get a lot of picks last year, so that needs to improve going into next season. Our biggest issue is kicking. I went 6 for 21, man. I was absolutely horrible at it. Punting, we were actually okay at punting. I just don't have a punter for next year, so we need to figure that out. But that's your season stats. Let's go ahead and continue our offseason. Let's go ahead and take a look at draft results. I don't think we had anybody drafted. We didn't. Not that shocked by that. However, the big news out of that is we move up to a 2-star program with our 7-win season. So that's going to help get us more recruiting points, which is going to be huge because we could use them. We're going to schedule a visit here with everybody that we have on our board that we want to bring in. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is head over to the transfer portal. I need to take a look at this and see who we could possibly get. Guys that are interested in us are currently Matt. I don't even know how to say his name. He's a D tackle. We're going to add him to the board. Same with free safety, Nari Biggins of Central Michigan. We're looking to bring Jadarius Green McKnight. Let's add him to the board. Quarterback Devin Kargman out of Kent State. Let's add him to the board. This is a good player. 3-star safety, Brandon Hillman. Let's add him to the board. And then D-tackle Alfonso Tyree. Let's add him to the board. Let's go ahead and take a look here at some of these transfer quarterbacks and see if there's anybody that we can maybe get to consider coming to us here. Problem is, I don't think we can actually get any of these guys. We're either locked out or they have a deal breaker we don't match. And I'm going to take my face cam off for this here as we look because I feel like I'm in the way. You guys need to see the whole screen. It's not about me. So that's disappointing. We actually are going to have some issues here trying to add people in the transfer portal. And I thought maybe it'd be something we could do and sneak in here. Taking a look at some of the halfbacks here. Is there anybody that we could add to our board? We're looking for speed mainly, but it looks like nobody's interested. Wide receiver is a position I have a ton of interest in trying to get a transfer, but it looks like we don't match any of these guys' deal breakers here. So that's pretty disappointing. And unfortunately, yeah, we're just not going to be able to get any of these guys. We added these guys to our board, and they're the only transfer guys we can go after. Next thing we're going to do is go back to our list and look at prospects that are available. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at our board here as we head into the offseason transfer portal and recruiting. The first target we have is a transfer, Brandon Hillman. We talked about him a little bit. We're throwing 50 at him. Same with Natty Biggins. We're throwing 50 at him. Strong safety, Green McKnight. We're throwing 50 at him. We offered all these guys a scholarship. Alfonso Tyree, we're throwing 50 at, along with Devin Cargman to bring him in, along with Matt Sticchiano. I don't know if that's proper how you say his name, but 50 for him as well, being a transfer. We want to bring him in. Looking at some other guys, we have Joey Souza, we threw 50 at. George Nwosu, we threw 25 at. Same with Kevin Jones. We've been in the lead for him. Gators jumped in, so I'm a little concerned we might not be able to get him, but we're going to keep trying. Caleb Fowler, NC State jumped in, but like I said, we're going to keep fighting, man. We're going to see if we can get him. We threw 25 at him and 5 on Paris. Everybody else has an offer, and we'll come back to them later if we swing and miss on a few of these guys. We got Kevin Jones to commit to the Minutemen. That's the only guy, though, so I'm a little disappointed in that. Looking to see how we're doing here. Brandon Hillman, we're up to first place on him. There's a bunch of offers. We're going to have to fight to get him, but we're going to keep trying. We're not in first place here for Biggins, but we got to keep fighting to try to get these guys. We're in first place for McGreen McKnight, second place for Tyree. It doesn't look like we're doing too good on these transfers, and that worries me because we really sure could use these guys to come in and play. We're in first place for Joey Souza, though. That's good news. We didn't get into George Nwosu, so for him, we're going to adjust it. We got some points back for scheduling visits. Let's go ahead and send the house at him. Caleb Fowler, we're still somehow leading NC State, and you know what? We're going to go all in and send the house at him as well. Deshaun Paris, we're going to go ahead and send the house at him. Nobody's going after Ethan Raider, so we're going to go ahead and send the house at him as well. Try to get up in the first place. Eric Contreras, we remain in first place, but it looks like the Gators have some interest. We're going to schedule a visit here in week 2. We're going to go ahead and do Coach Stability. That's not very good for his visit. We're also going to add an action onto him, and I think we're going to hard sell him. Go with Team Player. Kongbo, we still got him on the board. We're going to add an action. We got 45 points here. I want to hard sell this kid and see if maybe we can get him in here somehow. Jarius Radley, we're going to search social media with the last of our points. Let's advance to the next week. Looks like we got locked out of a ton of these guys, man. That's pretty disappointing. We're barely in Hillman's. We're going to keep fighting for him. Natty Biggins went to Syracuse. That's disappointing. We're not going to get him. We got locked out on Jadarius Green McKnight. We finished 5th on him. We're still pushing on these guys, and I'm going to keep the points on them in hopes maybe we can schedule visits soon. We can here with Tyree. Let's go ahead and do that with him and sell him on playing style and proximity and see if that works. Sticchiano, let's schedule a visit with him as well. Sell him on playing style. We're just looking to see who we can schedule visits with that we haven't yet. Maybe there's some guys that we really want to. Looks like I think most of them here. Radley, I can schedule a visit. Let's do that. It's a risk. We're going to go conference prestige and see if that does anything. So one final look through our board before we advance. This is where we stand as we're still looking. Hopefully, maybe we can make some more progress. Oh, I missed. Caleb Fowler went to NC State. That's disappointing. I really wanted him, man. I thought he was going to be a good receiver for us, but this is where we stand right now as we're going to advance to the next week. Looks like we didn't get any commitments again, which is quite disappointing. Cargman locked us out. I don't really understand why, but whatever, man. Go ahead. We'll see where you sign. Matt Sticchiano ended up going to Akron. That's disappointing. We lost Brandon Hillman to Virginia Tech. Disappointing, man. We're still fighting for Tyree, but it doesn't look promising. I think we're going to swing and miss on every transfer, man. That's really, really bad. And not a good look for this program, to be honest with you here. As now Contreras is also heavily considering the Gators. That's disappointing. We're fighting hard to get Kongbo here. Let's see if we can max out on him and see what we can do to get him in here. I'm going to probably move on from Bloom. Teamer, I don't think it makes a ton of sense to leave the points on him. We're in 7th place. All right, taking a final look at our board here as we head into the final week. We're behind on Alfonso Tyree. It's looking like we're striking out on all these transfers, which is quite disappointing. We're hoping maybe we can get some of these freshmen and JUCO guys to come in, though, and make an impact. We're in a dogfight for a lot of these guys, and I don't know how many of the battles we're going to win. Some of these guys we're taking a swing on, just adding points late and seeing what we can get. We did get some commits, though. Deshaun Paris committed. Joey Souza committed. George Nwosu committed. That's a bunch of corners. That's good. Ethan Radar committed. We got Liati Ika committed, a free safety, and that's it, man. That's really disappointing. As we look at National Signing Day, we missed out on Alfonso Tyree, went to Illinois, disappointing. Cargman went to Minnesota, that's disappointing. We're going to have to look. The rest of these guys, I think we got most of them. Oh, man, we missed out on Eric Contreras. I really wanted him. We're going to have to check him out for the Gators. We missed out on Oscar Bloom. We missed out on Sean Teamer, also going to Minnesota. We missed out on Tyler Nagy. Really wasn't expecting to get him, but I wanted him just because he went to Cicero, which is similar to where I went and grew up. As we missed out on some of these lower guys as well. I thought we might get them, but hey, we end up with a relatively small recruiting class, only 19 guys, and we didn't hit on any of our transfers. Taking a look at some of the good guys here in the portal, though. Matthew McDoom headed over to Ohio State. Eric Io Manor headed to Wake Forest. Isaiah Bonds going to Georgia to play receiver. Squirrel White's going to Alabama. CJ Baxter's headed to North Carolina from Texas. Price Sox headed to Oregon. Matthew Golden going to SMU from Texas. I mean, this is pretty interesting. Will Pauling heading to Notre Dame. There's some good guys in the portal here that ended up transferring away. You know, I definitely thought things would go different, though, and we could use the portal to our advantage, but apparently not this year, you know. I guess losing our coach and us not being higher prestige really did affect us here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the quarterbacks, though, from the portal. Tate Rodemaker's headed to Southern Alabama. Ashton Daniels heading from Stanford to Clemson. TJ Finley's going to Louisiana, Raging Cajuns. Ethan Vasco's headed to Maryland. Jace Bowers headed to Iowa State. Evan Simons headed to Rutgers. A lot of these guys are not crazy players. Ben Gulbranson's heading to Clemson. That's a big upgrade. Ethan Grunkenmeyer's headed to Ohio. Jay Butterfield's headed to Cal from San Jose State. One weird thing I will say, though, is I didn't see Jalen John in the portal, so I'm wondering if he committed somewhere and he just didn't show up because he left us. We're going to have to look and see if he is somewhere else. So let's take a look at the top classes here before we head on to the next stage. It was Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas, Miami, Penn State, LSU, Oregon, Auburn, and Michigan leading the way here. And I expect us to be somewhere around the 70s, I think, with this class. I'm really disappointed with how it turned out. We didn't get the number of recruits I was hoping for, but somehow we end up with the 42nd best class. We did get 3 4-stars, which is helpful. 1 1-star, 15 3-stars. We definitely need more depth in this class in the future. Next year, I got to not go after guys early that we don't really stand a chance at and really focus on getting some guys here committed that we need. And then focus on the guys that are left behind later on and try to make a run at them. Taking a look at position changes, Matt, I don't even know how to say that last name. He is not very good, but he can play safety for us. So let's go ahead and put him at free safety. And Quincy Kongbo, I believe, is going to be a quarterback for us. He's a 74 overall, man. We're definitely going to put him at quarterback. So looking at our quarterbacks right now, he looks like he might be our best option with 94 speed, which is ridiculous, and 93 throw power. I'm so glad we got him in here. He's got some mental abilities, which is nice. He might be our starter over Hairston next year. We're going to have to see, as we're going to look around here and just look at the team as a whole and see if there's any positions that we feel like we need to adjust stuff at. Jabu Sweet came in at just a 60 overall. That's disappointing. Kevin Jones is just a 60. A lot of these guys are not very good, man. That's quite disappointing. I was hoping they'd be better players than that. Jay Kendricks, though, comes in at a 73. That's impressive. We needed that. He's one of our 4-stars we brought in. Left tackle's very weak. Left guard, we're okay with Terralex. Center, Fraboni's a 74. That's good. Does he have a dev trait? We can't see here, and I forgot to check. Right guard, pretty strong. Right tackle, we're looking okay. I think we're going to have to move Ryan Maseko, though, over to left tackle. That way we have a stronger guy over there playing, and then hopefully that helps our line out as a whole. And maybe if more doesn't develop, we might just go with Ethan Rader. He has a couple mental abilities, so why not? Defensively, man, Kalu came in at a 75 overall. That's really good. His deal breaker's playing time. Hopefully we get him out there on the field a little bit. We have 2 seniors ahead of him, though, so we shouldn't be too mad. I mean, I feel relatively confident with how we did here in recruiting. not the strongest, but I think some of the players we got can make an impact for us here. Corner, not as bad as I thought it would be, if I'm being honest with you. We got some decent depth in there. Safety, we're looking okay. Not the best, but we're looking okay. We don't have a punter, though. That's going to be a problem. That's it, though, for position changes. Let's advance to the next week. I really don't understand training results, but somehow Jankowski's up to a 76. Or 78. That's a great upgrade. 77 for Haston. That's pretty good, man. We actually have some decent options here at quarterback. Looking at halfbacks, Albrecht's up to an 80. He's probably going to be our starter. And Hester developed really well, all the way up to a 79, man. That's awesome. Paradis didn't develop much, which doesn't surprise me. Neither Desidero. They're not very athletic. Looking at receivers, Keyshawn Brown's up to an 83 as a senior. Staruch is up to a 75. You know, we're not the strongest here at wide receiver. This year, we might take a step back. We don't have a ton of speed, as we actually got some good development, though, at tight end, a position I thought we were really, really weak at. Left tackle, we're up to a 74. That's good. 81 at left guard. That's now our best O-lineman. 82 at right guard. That overtakes that. 69 right tackle is definitely weak, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Lois Julian jumps to an 80. These guys are okay. Watson's up to a 79. Martin's all the way up to an 86. That's absolutely incredible, man. I'm so excited to have strong players like this on defense. Hopefully we can improve. We have an 82 outside linebacker. Corners, decent. We're not very strong there, but we're decent. Safety, same idea. We're decent, not strong. Our kicker didn't improve, not surprisingly. That's it, though. Let's advance to the next week. That makes 13 schools, and I decided we're not going to move UConn over to the MAC. I think we're just going to leave them, and we'll schedule them each and every year. Keep that rivalry going, but we're now in the MAC, and it looks like we might be one of the better teams in the MAC, surprisingly. So we could actually step right in and dominate. That's pretty cool. We did pretty darn good here. Next thing we got to do is encourage some transfers if we want. And I really don't think we need to. But as we're looking, you know, maybe some of these lower guys like, how did we get Devin Cargan? He didn't commit to us. We got Devin Cargman on the team. He didn't commit to us initially, but I guess we got him on the team. Did he get cut maybe? Interesting. I don't think we're going to actually encourage anybody to transfer. I don't think it really makes a ton of sense. Everybody can stay on the team, develop for a year, and we'll go from there and see if maybe in the future we want to encourage some people to leave. But for now, I think it makes a ton of sense to let everybody that's here stay. We're not a good team as it is, so, you know, why would we encourage somebody to leave? Taking a look at our schedule here for next season, guys. We're going to open up with Kent State, and then we're going to play Temple. Then we're going to play Buffalo, Central Michigan, Ohio, Bowling Green, Toledo. Then we got to take on Boston College. That's going to be a tough matchup. They were a playoff team last year. Then it's Western Michigan, and then we get UConn after that. And then it's Ball State, and we finish up against Iowa at Kinnick Stadium. That's probably going to be a tough one with a couple bye weeks at the end. I'm excited for it. Maybe we can get a chance to run the table and go to the MAC championship game. We'll see. That's our schedule, though. I feel pretty confident. I think we have a good draw. Here in the MAC, we have a couple guys like Demarion Albrecht is expected to be an all-MAC player, along with Tyler Martin at outside linebacker. Let's look at the second team. We have a bunch more. CJ Hester. Keyshawn Brown, I think he can make a run at first team. Wyatt Tierlek at guard could definitely be an All-American. I could definitely see that happening. But that's it, though. I'm excited to see if we can get these guys better. Quick look at your preseason top 25. It's Oregon currently expected to sit at the top. Boston College coming in at 7 is a shock over a team like Ohio State. And I feel like these overalls are a little low for some of these teams, so we'll have to see if they're able to hold up and maintain at the top here. Seeing Duke at 24 is quite surprising. Unfortunately, it looks like Jalen John had to go down to the FCS. He wasn't good enough to stay in the FBS level here, and I thought he might be one that we would see. Taking a look at our options here at quarterback, I really don't know what we're going to do. Quincy Kongbo makes a ton of sense to start here. He wears number 0. He is a team player, a fan favorite. He's a true freshman out of Maryland. He's got excellent ratings, man. He's got 93 throw power. His elusiveness, 88 agility. I mean, that's really good. Accuracies are decent, honestly. IQ is very low, which I can deal with that being low, and his quickness is exceptional. I feel like we almost have to start this guy. He doesn't really have a high ceiling, but that's okay, man. I think he can play for us. He has mentals, which improves his ability to play out of position as a team player, and composure gains at home is nice. He has a ton of physical stuff, which really helps him out. I don't know, man. I feel like we almost are forced to start this guy here. We did end up getting Devin Gargman, though, but he don't really matter. Hairston's down on the board here. I don't know though. Jankowski stepped up, but without the athleticism, I just don't think it makes a ton of sense to play him. And Haston's not near as athletic. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Should we go with Kongbo? Because I believe that's where we should go. A halfback, Albrecht's going to step in and be our starter. And I think you might even see a little bit more CJ Hester than Paradis, if I'm being honest with you. At receiver, we have some new guys stepping in, but really not a ton of new guys that we expect to make an impact right away. The top guy I thought was Jsi Wint, but unfortunately, he just didn't come in at the same level I thought he would be. He must have been a bust. Normal dev, 3-star guy. Unfortunately, I think normal devs are going to be... Oh, we have an impact with Kevin Jones. He might actually develop for us. That'd be nice. At tight end, Jay Kendricks, he has a high ceiling, man. He's a star dev player, which is really good for us. We need that. He has good ratings. He has good high potential as well. He's somebody that we're going to have to develop, and he has a ton of mentals, which are good. Fan favorite, winning time, which is nice. And then QB best friend, which is really good. I'm excited for this guy, man. I think I'm really going to have to try to focus on him, using him, because he's a good player. Fraboni comes in with just normal dev, which is disappointing, but you know what, man? That's fine. He doesn't have the highest ceiling, but that's okay, man. He's going to be a good center for us, and I'll take that. Ethan Rader also comes in with just normal dev, but once again, that's okay. He doesn't have the highest ceiling. As long as he's good enough to play, I'll take it. Keenan Kalu also has normal dev. I'm really disappointed in that one. I thought he might be a little bit better than that. He definitely is pretty close to his ceiling, which is quite disappointing. But you know what, man? He's a good player, and we'll use that in the MAC. That's okay. Denzel Foster comes in with just normal dev. David Whiteheart gets impact, which is pretty cool. I'm happy about that. That's at least going to give him a chance to develop a little bit more. He looks pretty beastly too, man. Deshaun Paris also has impact dev. I'll take that as a true freshman. Joey Souza, the late get, is only normal dev. That's okay. At free safety, we got a star dev on Ika. That's pretty cool, man. I like that. He looks like he could be a pretty good player for us. He has a lot of upside. Hopefully we're able to develop him. And he has a really good mental ability here. Composure gain for all DBs on interceptions or pass breakups. That's awesome. McDougal, our first commit, comes in with normal dev, which is disappointing, but he has some pretty good mentals as well. He just doesn't have the highest ceiling. He has improved play out of position and composure gain for all the DBs as well, so that's also awesome. And our new punter is a freshman, Rashad Bickley, out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Normal dev. That's fine, man. He's not a great player. His ratings probably kind of suck. Just 77 kick power, 67 accuracy. But you know what, man? That's fine. We don't need hopefully a punter that often. But guys, one of the things I really need to find out from you below is, who do you want as your starting quarterback? Do you think it should be Quincy Kongbo, Ahmad Haston, or Ryan Jankowski? Personally, I'm going with true freshman Quincy Kongbo. I think he's a great player that we'll be able to develop. When you compare him to Haston, he compares very favorably. He has more arm strength. Accuracy is probably better across the board. So I think throw under pressure is a little weak and break sack and stuff, but I think I can deal with that. I really like Quincy Kongbo, and I'm leaning his way, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. I struggled with Haston last year. We all seen him play. His stats were not very good, guys. So I think I want to lean into the recruit we got in and maybe see what he can do for us. Either way, that's going to be it for the offseason. Next episode, we're going to jump into the next season and get it underway here and hopefully win the MAC and maybe get a shot to become a head coach here at UMass. I think we're building something special. I just want him to give us a chance. I'm LDJ11. I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed season 1. We'll be back with more and get season 2 gameplay officially underway as we completed the offseason. Have a great day, and I'm out.